Yes guys, and a welcome from me, this is Championship Manager 0102. As you can see in the title right there, multiple installations. Now this is actually a video that I have done before, but it was so long ago, it was like November 2021 that I did it. It was my second video that I ever done. So I figured I'd do a revamp of it, a little bit of a refresh, but more importantly, for those people that it might have gone amiss to. A lot of people always say about, I want to have the ODB and the update. That's always a common one. And this is one way that you can achieve this. Of course, a very common way that people play different updates and different databases is via the starter kit. Now, I have got a video of that, and I take no credit on that because it's Eben, who is a fellow CMer. He created that video. That is on my channel somewhere. I might actually repost that as well at some point. The starter kit, if I'm truly honest with you, isn't for me. I would rather do a thorough installation, and I'd rather have all my installations. I read a lot about people getting things wrong with the starter kit. Now, people get a lot of things wrong more so and merely because they don't follow procedure or you know, the correct steps. So I will say this in as, you know, straightforward way as possible. Not everybody is computer savvy, so some of it you might think, what the fuck is he waffling on about? So I will try my best. So the very first thing you do now, first things first, I'm going to show you. I feel like I'm on a cookery program here because here's one I made earlier. So there you see, I've already got 5 installs already in, and they are renamed. Now it is very, very important about the renaming. You can't just rename your current CM. Like, you know, it doesn't work like that. I'll do it step by step. And the very first thing you want to do, and if you're starting from complete scratch with no CM on your computer, that's fine. That's the best way to start it. Make sure, before you start, make sure you delete any old CM shit that might be lurking around in your program files. So, you've put your CD in, or you've mounted your ISO, and you need to install. And just quickly, a real simple thing that I see so many people say, I've got this error, I've got this error. When you fire up your CD drive, as you can see, drive E is my CD drive, and you're going to install it, people click on the launch icon, the application. It's not, because you're not launching the application, you are launching the setup. It's the setup you want to go to. Okay, so the very first thing we do is we just install it. I am actually just going to delete my install straight after I've done it. But I will follow my usual installs that I normally do, and this will install CM as a vanilla 3.960, no patches, nothing, literally as if you've just taken it out the box. That's what's going to be installed right now. So this is step 1. Depending on the specifications of your computer, it might be quicker, it might be slower, you know, it varies. Now, come back to creating shortcuts in a moment. When you're doing a standard install, I mean, you should already have DirectX on your computer, in all fairness. There's no harm in pressing to install it again, to be honest with you. And more about this again in a moment. Service Pack 3, more about that in a moment. So as it stands, CM is installed on my computer. Now then, your very, very next move must be to rename it at this stage. Sorry, I've got that totally wrong. Let me start that again. At this point, if that's what you want, the vanilla version, the 3.960, go ahead and rename it vanilla if you wish. If you plan to put the update on, now as you know, to do the update, you need to put the official 3.968 patch on and then do the update. Now this is very important because if you are doing the update, you must apply the 3.968 patch now. Before you rename it, because it will look for CM0102. It will look for that. It won't look for anything with any digits, any wording afterwards. So that's what you do. So you apply your 3.968. Maybe you want that version, which is the Super Greeks. We'll call it the Super Greeks. You know, maybe you're going for the update. So you need, and any update, you need to have the 3.968 patch. Then you need to move the data files, and you may want to use a Nix patcher. Blah 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 blah. But in terms of, for the benefit of multiple installations, you must do that 3.968 patch if you're using it, if you tend to use it, before you rename it. So let's hypothetically say I don't want it. So at this point right now, I rename it. Okay, and we'll just call it test. Now the next thing is very, very important. Do not, under no circumstances, run the game before you have renamed it. Okay, do not, it's really, really important. Rename it before you've done anything, before you've run that game. It will fuck up if you don't. Okay, that's really, really important. Okay, so next thing, do you remember it just said about Service Pack 3? Now that is basically your compatibility, which ordinarily it should be running on XP Service Pack 3. In all fairness, I use Windows 95 because I use that purely from an internet perspective. 95 will work. If you have an internet game, network game, you need to have the Windows 95, but you need a patch off a Nix patcher. That's another video on that. And you must be running the game as administrator. Very, very important. Run as administrator. And there you go. Now I should point something out, right? What I've done in the past, right, is I've done my properties, like as I've just been. I do my properties, I change them all accordingly. I then rename it, like I've done, and then for some reason my properties have changed again, for some fucked up reason. So sometimes you have to do your properties twice, just so you know, particularly when you're doing the update. So at this point now, you see, you are ready to go. Okay? You are ready to go. So we've put in a test. Okay, it'll come into full screen. I don't actually ever play CM in full screen, never. Because I like to play in window form, simple as that. And there we are. Okay. Now, optimal resolution notification. If you have any issues with your resolution side of things, because some people do, in fact, just before I go any further, let's just make sure we have no errors if we go to select leagues. There won't be. I know there won't be. There you go. If you have any issues with your resolution, right, a lot of people have this issue with resolution, and I'll explain how you can get rid of it. First of all, Nix Patcher can get rid of it. You can change the resolution size on that, and sometimes, particularly those that want to play it in window and it don't let you, go onto your EXE, click on your properties and change the high DPI settings and just click that there and click OK, and that will rectify that problem. Okay, so that is one install. Now what I'm going to do now I've renamed it, you cannot change that rename. Okay, it will not run. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'm going to install it again. Okay, we'll install it again. Because it will let me install again because it looks for Championship Manager 0102, just that. So we install it again, and only this time what we'll do is we'll put the 3.968 patch on. Okay. Ordinarily, you can't really install it twice, like you can't on any sort of game. I always take this shit out because I don't want it. Certainly don't want quick starts, sounds, doesn't appeal to me at all. So follow the same procedure when you're doing your next install. Now, we spoke about shortcuts. I will come back to that in a moment, but always go no. Always go no. Okay, so now remember, at this stage, this is where we then renamed it, but you do not rename yet. You go to your 3.968 patch, wherever that may be, and it will look for CM0102. And if you've renamed it, it won't find it, and it will say can't find it. So there you go, it has located it. There you go. And now we click next. Again, specifications of the computer may make this a little bit quicker, may make it a little bit slower. But providing you're following this procedure, you shouldn't have no problems. We see so many times that people say, oh, it's not installing and this and that and this and that, and they've missed a real simple rule. And I say rule, but they're steps. Okay, so now the 3.968 patch has been installed, so now we can go and rename it. So it's appeared at the top there. Let's rename this little bad boy. And I'll tell you what we'll do, because I refer this as the Super Greeks, we'll call it the Greek. I meant to write Greeks, but okay, not a problem. Okay. Do check your properties, make sure we're all okay, and there we go. You sometimes might run into an error. I've done it before. Okay, so and we're back over here, okay, and that's because I've gone into it, and there we go. That is ready to install. That is ready to play. Okay. Once you've clicked on it once, fired up the game. Once you've clicked on it, you cannot rename it again. Now, as you'll see, as I said to you, I've got multiple installations, and just a quick one on my installations. I have this 3.960. That is basically what we've just did there. That is the vanilla. But because I wanted to keep an install of it, I renamed it 3.9.60. I've got a 3.968 patch now. In actual fact, that isn't that in theory is the same as that, but it's not as such. That the reason I don't even know why I called it 3.968. That is my three-man game with Pep and Ian. Excuse me, and that was the 2013 update. You may have an install for this update, another install for that update, another one for that update, and people have like in brackets April 2022. October 2023, and so on and so on and so on. So my main installs is that, and I only really use that when I'm looking at my saves on DTL. That I have for my freeman. That is the ODB. Now that is the ODB. That is basically the same as that. The only difference between that and that, the ODB, I used the Nix patcher to have coloured attributes. I used it for my ODB game with Matt, coloured attributes, and to fix the Tapani regen. Now, of course, as a lot of you already know, to do that on the ODB, what you have to do is, once you install CM, the ODB, you need to copy all these files in a data folder, put them somewhere safe, right? Just put them somewhere safe, upgrade it to 3.968, and then once you've upgraded to 3.968, then go get those files again and copy them back in a data file, and then it'll be ODB. This is ODB, but the difference is you've tweaked a couple of the bugs that were in the game, and you need that 3.968 because it tweaks it, but you need it to run a Nix patcher. I also have an install there in my World League. That was my customised league. I made it. Not that I ever play it. And obviously we've just made them. Now, I said to you earlier on about shortcuts. Do not have shortcuts. It's very, very important that you do not put a shortcut of any of your installs on your desktop. It will not run. Might run, but it will cause conflict. And basically, because your desktop is a shortcut, your desktop icons, these are all shortcuts for various bits and pieces. And if you've got a CM one, it doesn't always know where it's going to. Do you know what I mean? Now, I tampered with something this week where I tried to get a shortcut over on my taskbar, and I ran into the same problem. It was my own fault. I was trying to be fucking clever. So if you have got multiple installations, and then you decide maybe one day I'm going to play my update. So let's pretend I want to go to my update. You've just got to navigate to it manually, like so. So there you see. So let's fire up the update, and it will automatically detect which one, because you've got saved games, right? You've got saved games within your within this install, and I've got saved games within my other install, and there you go. We've got the update. Here's our update. Okay. So let's say I now decide I've had an hour on that, and let's say I want to play my three-man game with Pep and Ian. Okay. So we fire it up. Right, okay. There you go. So it's changed it up there as well. So it's really important that you just follow these simple rules if you want multiple installations. As I said, there is John Bett's starter kit. Now, like I said, I remember tampering with it a little bit, and I'm not one for change in certain aspects of the game. That was one of them. And like I said, I did put a video up, courtesy of Eben, on the best way to do it. So all credits go to him, and more so to John Betts, who created the starter kit, which, don't get me wrong, is an absolute masterpiece. It really is a masterpiece. So that is multiple installations. Let's just take that off and delete them. As I said at the start of the video, when you're first installing CM, when you're first installing it, it's really, really important that you check that you've got no CM folders, because there'll be bad sectors. Now, if you've only got the one CM folder and you've installed it, and it's all okay, you can have that on your desktop, obviously. You install it, you then uninstall it for whatever reason, it won't remove the CM folder. It even tells you when you uninstall it, it says some things couldn't be deleted, you have to manually delete them. And even when you've manually deleted them, empty them from the bin as well. Okay, so that is CM0102. If there's any other videos you want, let me know, because I'm looking to sort of revamp a load of videos on CM, just to sort of give a little bit of new material. I downloaded a couple of things first thing this morning. We've got a few things, some of which I'm completely oblivious to. So let me just have a quick gander. We've got, see, I don't know what this CM3 editor is. It's a pre-gen, something like that. History project, I'm not sure. The Graham Kelly edit. The EEC Solo, well I know what the EEC Solo is. That is to do with the EEC hack, which I don't have on my ODB, but I do on my update. It's to reflect real life. CM Explorer, I'm not really sure. A CM Scout is to do with CM Scout's a waste in my opinion. It makes your scouts in the game obsolete. I think, I'm not going to say cheat, I just think CM Scout should be banned. What else have we got? So we've got tactics. There's various tactics that you can have implemented within CM. That Alon light, that is to stop AI going whip-wob. Alternatively, you may want the AI to have a much stronger whip-wob. So that is that there. There's various tactics that you can download and that sort of stuff. And if you're not already part of the Championship Manager 0102.net website, then the link is down in the description. Go and get it. My patches, there you see, I use that because that's the patch I was using on my 3-man game at the time. It was the up-to-date patch, so obviously I keep a backup of that. And these are all the various old school Nick patches. Ollie DB, that is what people use to go into the game and change things. Nick is my master on this because, fuck me, that guy, he's relentless. With the changes he makes within CM, he's just remarkable. And that's why I like to have the update. I don't like to play it because it winds me up, but I like to have it because it's to reflect real life. Offsets. A lot of the offsets are now being implemented into Nick's patcher anyway. That being said, I may do another video on offsets again. I have a lot of my own that are not my own because I say people have sent me the offsets and I've created it into a patch, which is quite simple to do. Some of which I have applied, some of which I don't. That is no longer necessary because that's on Nick's patcher. I don't know about the chairman attributes. The jobs that's on Nick's patcher. That is one of my own. I like that. That is what I managed to get. That I like. That I like. More goals. It was ridiculous. So I fucking got rid of that because that was awful. First half, no transfers. I've not really tampered with that too much. Data files, just what I keep. I mean, they are quite big folders. So if you're struggling for space, don't do that. And miscellaneous. Let me remind. Miscellaneous is interesting really because the VAR commentary. I forget who it was that made it, but. Absolutely, this one here is absolutely amazing. All you do is you copy it into your data folder and replace the old one. That is amazing. I always use that VAR commentary just to add a little bit of realism into the game for the update. And then this guy makes he included this in what he made here, which was penalties. Where penalties, you know, when a penalty gets saved, it always says it was saved. It was saved. It was always. But this has got a more. He blazed over the bar straight at the keeper. He puts it wide of the post, and I just think those little things are fucking brilliant. They really are fucking brilliant. I have myself a backup of my net file when playing network games, more so to send people. So there's various bits and pieces that I plan to do. I have done videos on them before, but I think I might revamp them. So this is just to give you an insight into what's going to be happening going forward. A few more videos, another one on offsets. Ollie DB, I can't tell you what to do on that because I'm thick as shit. I don't know. But that's it from me, guys. Till next time, take it easy.